IntervisionFM.com. Happy Monday, everybody. I'm Alan C., and we got Johnny J. And that's who we love, and that's who we serve. Jesus Christ, our Lord.
Hi, everybody. This is the Godfather, Soul James Brown. I tell you, this business is on. My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather, Soul James Brown saying, stay with it and hit it. Well, okay. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Am I up? Okay, wait a minute.
Good morning to you, Johnny. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Welcome to Intervision FM, and this is one of our special editions. So from time to time, we get new DJs, and we did an interview with Alfonso. We did an interview with Robert, and then Aaron, and now we're doing the latest interview with our most recent DJ, Saylor. But before we do that, we want to say thank you to our sponsors, which is Dr. Richard Damiano, who does corneal consulting and eye operations and cataract operations. Also, Christian Brothers, who they do moving throughout Colorado, Texas, and Phoenix, Arizona. The Denver Foundation, Wells Fargo, the Eeny Meeny Money grant. That name is a tongue twister. And then what was the other one? The
Colorado Arts Relief Fund, Johnny.
Yes, that one. And also, we want to let you know that you can. We would like for you to like, share, and tell a friend about our shows, and support our shows through paypal.me/IntervisionDenver. That's paypal.me/IntervisionDenver. And if you want to have any suggestions about the upcoming shows that you want to suggest, any info@IntervisionFM, info@IntervisionFM. So without further ado, Saylor, we'd like to welcome you to Intervision FM.
Thanks. It's good to be on here. It's been a pleasure for me to do all my shows on here for the past couple of months.
You've been kicking butt, man. And I'll edit that part out so people won't see that part. Well, we want to talk about the genesis of how you got started and what led you to start doing broadcasting.
All right. Well, I'm Saylor Cooper. I live in Texas. I was born just 10 minutes away where I live in Conroe, Texas, near Houston. And I've had a passion for broadcasting since I was a little boy. I've always enjoyed listening to radio growing up, listening to DJs on the air, have fun. And as you know, it's not uncommon. Many blind people enjoy radio. And so since I had a passion for it, I just wanted to really do it. I've had experience throughout my life. Since I was a kid, of course, I would be in my room just doing recordings of myself, recording like demos, air check demos, recording myself playing songs. In the summer, I attended a radio station summer camp at the Texas School for the Blind and Visually Impaired in Austin. Did a broadcast program there, and they were impressed with me. And then I actually went to a school for the blind during the school year. And every Wednesday night, I would do radio shows on their station. I even have most of the archives from that era, all the way from like 9th grade, all the way through 12th grade when I graduated. And since then, I just kept a passion up.
Yeah, keep those recordings, because I still have recordings back when I was in a high school, and I was a host of a youth radio show, and now I'm gonna start running some of those uh, flashbacks on Saturdays.
Yeah.
We're changing over the digital, but yeah, keep those shows because you never know who's gonna say, "Hey, do you have any of those shows?"
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. And so
Right. Go ahead.
radio has just been a part of my life ever since. And I did do a broadcast apprenticeship with a broadcasters mentoring group out of Calabasas, California. Basically, it's an apprenticeship model where they place students in a local radio station in the area. And so they pair you up with a mentor. So I mentored under Nick Russo here in Houston with 100.3 The Bull. And that experience was great. The only challenges were, as you know, a professional radio station environment. It's a step up. There's a huge board with so many buttons to push, and it's just difficult, to manipulate as a blind person unless you can, do something like such as label the board in Braille.
Oh yeah,
and go ahead.
yeah. That's what I used to work at the station called KGNU, and they let me label the board, and then I was able to bring my laptop for the music, and then just plug into this system. But yeah, if you find out,
and use station playlist.
Yeah, I use station playlists, and I just ran my music through my laptop through their system, and then I label the board so I can always find out where the different pots are, and yeah. But now I guess a lot of it is let's see, digital, where sometimes they want you to use their well, they don't have, a lot of them don't have station playlists. Some stations do, but finding those stations, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. But yeah, I understand that very much.
Yeah, and so what you use that studio and also streamer, because I think streamers require to use a mixer, right?
Yeah, and but like I said, when I was at the radio station, I just ran through this system. But yeah, on mine, I had the streamer, which is self-contained, and then just set up the streamer, and then broadcast out from there.
Yeah. So I did that apprenticeship, and I never got a job at a radio station, but that's okay. I continued doing my radio broadcasts. First, it started on Spreaker podcasts, but then I was introduced to station playlists, and voila, I was just in love with it. And because of the functionality, it's so intuitive, so easy to use, and now I have my own radio station on the air 24/7, Real Variety Radio, and I'm not done. I want to make this announcement to you now. I'm working with a wonderful group of guys. A good friend of mine set up for me. They're helping me build a platform. I'm launching a podcast. It's called Hope Without Sight, and in fact, it's going to launch this Wednesday.
Wow.
It's going to be centered on people who've had challenges in their life and how they overcome them. And I hope to make money with Real Variety Radio and my podcasts. And so, and of course, I'm on Innovision FM, right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's been awesome doing my shows, but what I haven't enjoyed is that a lot of times it will be dead, because I just don't want to do a show just because, like, I want to engage with listeners,
interactive
calls, and when it's dead, why be on the air,
Right. And you don't know this yet, but right now I'm working on we got this grant for a $10,000 advertisement grant to promote the station and so forth through Google. So every month they give us $10,000. So we're revamping the website, and we're going to start driving so many listeners and to your show that it's gonna be interesting. So in about a couple of weeks, he's finishing off. We're gonna have that up and going, and then we're gonna start, driving like tens and thousands of people, like it's definitely to your show, and then to our podcast, because I met with this guy and met with him 2 years ago and didn't have the grant money at the time to do it. But
Yeah.
now we got several grants. And so now I was able to afford to pay for him. And so that is going to put the word out even more. And that's another reason I wanted to do this interview, because I think you're going to be one of the biggest stars that come out of this stuff that we're doing, because
Oh, thank
your
you.
shows are just well produced. And
Thank you.
I'm
It-
it's like
It's
you know the music, and you could feel the music.
it's diverse, like every night I have a different genre of music, and so,
Yeah, let's talk about that. Monday nights you do okay, from Mondays 5 to 8 Mountain Time.
Yeah.
Tell us about the different formats you do Monday through Thursday.
Well, Monday I start off, because Mondays sometimes can be manic Mondays. They suck because the weekend's over. So I start off by smoothing up the rough edges of your day by playing soft love songs and taking requests and dedications. I do smooth R&B the second hour, and then the final hour I get everybody hyped up by playing rock and classic rock.
Mhm.
And Tuesday night is a country music night. I start off by playing the hottest Nashville icon country stars of today. Then the second hour, going to classics, and I play stuff like Willie Nelson, from Willie Nelson to George Strait, some older George Strait, Waylon Jennings, even 90s country. It's my favorite era of country. And in the final hour there, I take all of the listeners to Texas, where I tell them to go outside, light up a bonfire, get in a lounge chair, and crack open a nice cold beer. enjoy the best of red dirt Texas country, because
Awesome.
Texas is so big that it has its own authentic brand of.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
And thank you for playing my song God's Country.
yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Wednesday night, it's Christian music night because it's prime time. Everybody goes to church, right? On Wednesday, so I'll play today's contemporary Christian hits into even gospel, where I say, let's get up and shout the Lord in praise. He's mighty.
That's awesome.
And
Praise
we're
God.
going to praise God. Praise Jesus, like Kirk Franklin and Byron Cage do.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, brother.
Yeah. And Thursday nights, of course, I play all the hottest hits from the top stuff today, such as Lizzo, Ariana Grande, Doja Cat, The Weeknd, and I go, and then I go back to the 2000s, which was my era growing up, such as all the All American Rejects, Avril Lavigne, My Chemical Romance, and then of course I do play 90s pop, 80s and 70s and so on. So yeah, that's my show during the week.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
absolutely fascinating. One thing that really stood out was that tribute that you did most recently for those that had fallen on 9/11.
Oh yeah.
That was, man, I can't even imagine being an individual trying to get out of some burning buildings, much less a skyscraper that is, gosh, more than, I guess, 100 floors.
Yeah.
Just trying to get out of there. And you had another gentleman on there that was also blind like yourself. And the way that he was able to get out. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Michael
Hinkson.
Michael Henson. Yeah.
Hinkson, yeah.
Go ahead, Alan.
But Michael Hinkson became fairly well known because he was not your average follower. There are leaders and there are followers in this world, and being blind, let's be honest, we often will fall into the category of a follower. if you just do it this way, if you just take my arm, if you just, you know, so on and so forth. This guy was a, a basically an office lead. So it was his job to make sure that his floor, which, you know, housed a corporation that he was working for, got out safely. And so without
Right.
Michael Kingston's expertise in how to manage people, that things could have ended a lot differently.
They
Hmm.
could have,
That
yeah.
was an awesome show.
Yeah, and I like the way
Thank
he
you.
paid. I like the way he paid attention to his dog because if you know, like in that salami that happened when the water went out, you know, the animals disappeared, and the people didn't pick up on that, and they just went down to the beach to see and said, "Wow, look, the water's going out," but they didn't think about if the water goes out, it might just come back, and he really paid attention to the dog, and he said, "Well, my dog is calm, so
Yeah,
therefore I'm going to be calm, and we're gonna not make these people panic, and we're gonna get them out safely."
you got, yeah, awesome. Yeah. And yeah, what he did was so heroic and incredible because his friend David was the one panicking because there's
Yeah.
fire and smoke above. You listened to the whole thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Michael Hinkson just instilled calm and instilled calmness. Because honestly, if I would have been in there, I I don't know about you, but if I would have been in that building, I don't know if I would have been able to stay calm and get out. I don't know about y'all.
But yeah, I like that he checked out all these safety mechanisms so he knew where to go if there was any kind of anything that would happen. He knew all the places. And you get on airplanes all the time. They say, if the safety door is here, the safety door is there, and if you're not willing to do what you need to do to open up the safety doors, and and pretty much
Yeah,
I don't pay attention to that stuff.
yeah,
But I mean, so he showed like real leadership and said, "Hey, I'm in the dark here. Information is powerful." And I like that. I like that way you said that information is powerful. And then when he got downstairs, and then the building just collapsed, and all that smoke came, he knew his surroundings enough to say, "Okay, go to up to here, and then go right," because he had the seeing eye dog is a seeing eye dog, but it takes commands from us. And then when he was about to go to this one part where it was stairs, the dog stopped and he couldn't figure out why. And then there were stairs going down. So, it was like, he says, he has good cane traveling, but his dog really gave him that extra insight in getting out of that situation.
exactly.
So, and I got his book,
Thunderdog.
Thunderdog. Yeah, I haven't listened to it in 6 hours. I'm gonna be getting around to it here eventually. I got it on audio, and I guess when he interviewed with you, he was just finishing up the finished touches of that book.
No, no.
Oh,
When
he had a.
it's been out since 2011.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, okay.
yeah.
Well,
He did the interview with me last year, and
yeah.
so
Okay. So I thought he was still working on getting it out there, but
he
okay.
was he was working on a podcast. I think was what you heard.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So we were really impressed with how you put that together. I mean, you probably have you have editing tools and stuff like that. So you
yeah.
really edited that show together really good.
Thanks. Now, what do you use to edit? Because I use a studio recorder. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, I was using Sonar, and then that went out the window, and
Yeah,
then now I'm using let's see sound. Let's see, what's it? SoundForge. Sound.
SoundForge. I've tried to use it, and it's not very accessible.
I know. And then I got some scripts for it from this guy called the Snowman.
I've heard of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, but like I've used Studio Recorder because it is very accessible. Like my friend Herbie over at 98.6 The Mix, he told me about it. And I mean, there's also Gold Wave. It's pretty good too. like my favorite is Studio Recorder.
Well, I
You
might just
bring
try.
those up.
I
Oh,
might
go
try
ahead,
that.
Johnny.
Go ahead. I might just try that. Go ahead.
You bring up SoundForge. I'm sorry. You bring up Goldwave. You bring up Studio Recorder. Those are good tools for those that are on a budget. For those that don't have a lot of money to sink into the $1,000 pieces of software that are necessary. And they do, they're very functional, as you say, very accessible. Um, we here at Intervision FM promote grassroots musicians, recording artists, but not only that, DJs like yourself. And so it's going to be an awesome pleasure to be able to work with you. I have a question with regard to, how you got. How do I explain that? How do I ask this question? How you got the expertise that you currently enjoy? I mean, you mentioned that you apprenticed for a while, um, and that you've done these broadcastings, through the Texas School for the Blind on a given Wednesday, ninth or 12th grade, that kind of thing. It takes me back to the uh, old days when we just had tape, we had analog, and we had to carve literally. What they'd have is these big masters, and if you wanted to cut things or splice things or move things around, literally, you'd have to take the tape and
Yeah.
with a little razor blade, you'd literally cut the tape and then splice it together to make things happen. Man,
Yeah.
it's a
And
lot easier to
in my
use.
case, yeah, in my case, a gentleman named John Henneman at KCFR, he, as a sighted guy, he said, "How would I do this if I was a blind person?" And he taught me how to cut tape as a blind person. And
That's
and so yeah, so I went through that cutting reel to reel tape. So yeah,
the reason why I bring that up, folks, is the idea that with the advent of digital technology, it's made things a lot easier, especially
mm,
for the blind community, those that are musicians, those that are recording artists, and of course, those that are DJs and into broadcasting. I have a question though with regard to the recording side of stuff. I'm not sure how to approach it.
like say if you're gonna do like a voiceover and you want to lay
Uh,
music down, with Sonar it was easy because the tracks are a lot easier to find. In Sounds Forge, I haven't did
Um,
laying down the music. I just usually record my voice and then play the music using Creator uh, with the music bed, and it doesn't duck down like I could do that I used to do when I was in Sonar, because the music would duck down when I would speak. So that
right.
made it a lot easier. So using yours, tell us your procedure like in editing and so forth.
Exactly.
well,
Exactly.
I would just use Studio Recorder, and there's a mix function. Like I would open so Studio Recorder just works just like Word, except you're just editing audio. So I would just open a second document, put
Oh,
put the music bag in there. I would copy it. I would select it all, copy it, and then go back to the document with a voice track, and I would just mix it. And of course, I could adjust the levels, everything I need to adjust, and yeah, that's how I do it. It's very easy.
Okay.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was not comfortable with editing at all. Whenever I was in broadcasting before, I was kind of terrified,
Mm.
especially when I was doing the apprenticeship with Nick Russo. And they said, "Oh, editing is not hard. It's easy. It's easy." And I get it is, but you just have to have accessible software to do it. And that's, you know, after I found Studio Recorder, that saved me
Mm.
because it's so easy to use.
Yeah, because a lot of radio stations they use Adobe editing, and it's just not
Yes.
accessible.
You've heard of Adobe Audition. Can
Yeah,
can y'all attest that it's not accessible? Because I've
no,
tried it.
no,
I'm definitely right there with you. It's not accessible, at least anything that I've found. I guess, there are some backdoor scripts that you can get, but geez, it's just not accessible.
Yeah, because like if I were to work at a radio station, a real radio station, sure, yeah, I could do it, but they would just have to be willing to accommodate my needs, like
Right.
allow me to bring in my software that I'm used to and that works for me. I mean, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter. Bottom line, as long as I can get the job done, produce the show, edit audio, as long as I can do what they need me to do, it doesn't matter what software I use.
Right, and
That's
Yeah.
all.
even at iHeartRadio, they have hired some blind announcers. Like here in Colorado, they would I forgot what this is, KPKX. They have hired some blind announcers. So keep poking around out there. Probably even at XM Radio. Uh,
Yeah.
just keep poking around, and you'll find that. Uh, but right now we can say we know him. We knew him when he was.
That's right. So when you
Yeah.
become rich and famous,
Yeah.
Don't forget us
Yeah.
little guys.
right?
Guys, exactly. Yeah.
Oh wow! Well, ladies and gentlemen, this we have been talking to the Sailor, and this guy, he's one of our newest announcers. You can catch him uh, Monday through Thursday from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., give or take. And we want you to uh, email them with requests, and so that's Sailor at innovationfm.com.
That's
That's
right.
Sailor at innovationfm.com. Uh, and then give out the phone number too, that you give out a request line number too.
Sure. Yes. 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 Indeed. If you want to request any songs during my show, I have a dedicated phone line for Innovation FM. It's local in Colorado. The number is 303-834-7342. Again, that is 303-834-7342.
Yeah, and we're going to be playing this interview on the radio station right before Sailor Show. We're going to play it for the next 30 days. So when we get the other parts set up and going, and the traffic starts coming, they'll hear this. And also, I'm going to put out some Facebook ads as well, because I really want to pump his show up even more. And I don't know if Zuckerberg is real or not. They say I'm reaching like 200 and so many people, but oh, it is what it is. But with this grant, we really want to push the show out there. And also, me and Alan, Monday through Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 9:30 as well. So, man, I really like to thank you, Sailor, for sharing your talents with the station,
Awesome.
and just being one of those good guys.
Thanks.
So,
Do you have any other questions for me though?
I do have one,
yeah.
and that does deal with. I guess sometimes you'll do a talk show format every so often, like you did for the on stage stuff with regard to the 9/11 tribute. But you'll do other talk shows and things like that. How do people participate in that?
Oh, I mainly use Clubhouse because it's free. You don't have to pay extra for it,
Yeah.
so they can join Clubhouse room. But honestly, since I'm becoming an entrepreneur myself, I even have my own LLC now. I have upgraded to Zoom Pro because I will need it for my own interviews. And so I can use Zoom as well. So either Clubhouse or Zoom. And please, if y'all have any guests that y'all know who've overcome challenges in life and would like to be on the Hope Without Sight podcast, please send them my way. This podcast will be launching this Wednesday. You'll be able to get it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, just anywhere you get podcasts, you'll be able to get it. So, I just finished episode 5. I'm gonna do episode 6 and 7 this weekend. And so please, if you have any other people who want to be on there, send them my way.
You betcha.
All right. Well, let people know. Also, go to paypal.me/IntervisionDenver if you want to donate, and also share, subscribe, and like the show as well. And we look forward to doing many more shows and listening to Saylor show. And your partner, your co-host, what is his name again?
Tyler.
Tyler. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tyler
All right.
Evans. Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys the next time, and just keep it real. You're at
Thanks.
Innovation FM.